It is definitely going to be a hot one today. You know, we're working essentially outside. It's about a heat index of 105 degrees today. So the good news is that's going to make this stain dry really quick. The bad news is we may not survive.
What's up? What's up? So we are about to install a golf simulator in this garage bay. This is a little bit different than some of the other golf simulators that we've done in the sense that this one is the pipe and frame kit, which is typically the way that you see most golf simulators done. They wanted to have the ability to potentially move this to another house, break it down, versus like completely taking over this space in the garage. So we're using all Carl's Place components. So we're using the premium impact screen. We're doing their pipe and frame kit. We've got their netting kit that will protect the cars that are going to be parked on this side of the garage bay, and they'll also protect this window. And then in terms of the launch monitor, I'm really excited about this. This is the Uneekor Eye XO 2. We've done a lot of the Eye XOs, and one of the big benefits of the Eye XO 2 is you actually have a larger hitting area. So the Eye XO 2, it's about a 1 foot by 1 foot spot that you have to put the ball every time. I don't know the exact dimensions of how big the hitting zone is on this. I'll add that into just the text in the video right here. But essentially what it is just a more robust, it's got more capability than the Eye XO, and yeah, we're excited to set it up. So should be a quick turnaround. We should be able to go from empty space to full-blown golf simulator in 2 days. Nice. So yeah, the Eye XO 2, it actually comes with a couple different hitting surfaces, so you can hit off of the rough, and it's a bit more realistic. And then this is really cool. So this will emulate sand. So whenever you drop a ball into here, you know, it'll tuck down into it a bit more. So if you're in the bunker, you know, you can hit out of this material, and it's going to give you more of a realistic sand type approach shot. Inside of here, you have the power supply. In this box, you have the Ethernet cable. The interesting thing about these Uneekor devices is they they have so much information that's being sent from the launch monitor to the computer that you have to connect it via Ethernet. So it allows just a larger data transfer. It's got this proprietary end on it that really locks in. You can run your own Ethernet cable. We will probably go ahead and use this just so that we have this proper connection into the device that locks in. And then you have these club stickers that you can put on your club face. You don't have to do it, but it just gives you a little bit more accurate club data. And then this, if you're PC or laptop, depending on what you're using, we are going to be using a PC. If it doesn't have a dedicated Ethernet port, it comes with a specific Ethernet to USB adapter. And then inside of here, you know, this shows you how much bigger the hitting surface is. So with the Eye XO, it's basically just this much space in terms of how far the ball is hit. But the nice thing about this is, you know, you aim it towards the screen, so it'll be sitting like this, and then, you know, you can be hitting your fairway shots just off the middle. Then you can add one of these in whenever you need it to do your bunker shot or your rough shot, depending on what it is. And then this is the Eye XO 2. It's got this protective film on it right now, but you can see that it is a pretty robust piece of equipment. It'll mount in the ceiling like this. So this bracket that's on it will mount flat, but then it has a slight angle down to the turf.
Okay, quick update. So we have the frame put together now. We're holding off on putting in this top post across because it will block our path into the attic. So what Gavin is going to do now is he's going to go up and he's going to run the Ethernet cable, and it's going to come down out of this hole here. So we'll drill through this top plate here, and then the Ethernet will come across and then connect down into the launch monitor. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm installing the bracket that we will actually be mounting the Uneekor bracket to. The ceiling height in the space was 11 feet, and the launch monitor needs to be mounted between 9 and 10.5 feet. So by using that projector mount and dropping the height by about 8 inches, it gives us a perfect placement. So essentially what we have now is we have the pipe structure wrapped with the nylon shroud, and then now we're going around and we're zip tying the screen to the actual structure. It's a little bit dirty just because we're doing it in a garage, but we'll be able to clean that off with some water. But yeah, now you can see how this will get tensioned to this via the zip ties, and then we'll get it all nice and level and pretty. Okay, so we are back on site this morning, and what we are doing today is we're going to get this whole space here developed and kind of finalized. So Gavin has been setting up the PC, testing the projector, and so now what I'm going to be doing is working on this shelving setup. So essentially what we're going to have is this piece of angle iron that we're going to use to mount the extension post for the projector, because we want the homeowner to be able to use the golf sim while the garage door is open, so we can't mount it to the ceiling. And then I'm staining these pieces of wood now because these are what we're going to use as the shelves for both the PC and the keyboard. So we're using this true black stain. You can see already that once it starts to dry, the wood grain starts to come out. Should give it just a really nice and clean effect. And then we'll be mounting that with some of these angled shelf brackets, which I think is going to give just a clean look, simple but tasteful, and then also just gives easy access to everything. So yeah, we're gonna get this stained up and then on to some of the mounting and configuration of these different components. There's one that's held in place. There we go. There. It's nice whenever a plan comes together. But yeah, essentially what we have here is this rod that sticks out into space, and then the projector will mount onto there. Go ahead and hit that garage door button again, please, that top one. Yeah. It's gonna clear it perfectly. Hopefully once the projector's on there, it's gonna clear it. It looks like it might be kind of close. We'll see. But this will go here, and that's where it'll hang. So Gavin has been working hard with Uneekor, getting the IXO2 configured, and it looks like we're up and running. So now it's time to hit some balls and test this thing out. Okay, so that is a wrap on this project. We're really happy with how it turned out. We just went through the whole setup process with the client, and he's stoked. He's already hitting balls, and he's got 2 sons. They're excited to get some swing time on this. So just to recap, this is the Carl's Place 8.5 by 10 enclosure. It's the premium impact screen. We have the SimTurf hitting surface, the IXO2 launch monitor. This thing is sweet. One of the biggest benefits between the IXO2 versus the standard IXO is, again, that larger hitting surface and the fact that you can use some of these different hitting surfaces. So you have the sand, turf, and you have the rough, which just makes for an overall more realistic experience. We've got the gaming PC set up over here, as well as a wireless keyboard and mouse. And then something that I think really turned out cool is this projector mount that we made custom that allows the garage door to be opened and closed, and it's still in a perfect height where, you know, I'm standing here, and as you can see, there's no shadow at all on the screen. It's just totally crystal clear. They do still need to add some window treatments here just to darken the windows out, and they're going to tint the windows in the garage. So of course, it's a little bit washed out tonight though. Once it gets dark and he's out here, it's gonna look awesome. It's a 4,000 lumen projector. So it's gonna look really bright and good. Just gotta wait for it to get a little darker until they do some of the darkening things that they wanna do. So yeah, if you're interested in one of these for yourself, hit us up, the VHS group. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you on the next one.